All right. Hey, welcome out to another episode of Windshield Time at Mountainlands Supply. I'm Joey. I'm joined by the man of sorts, Mr. Spencer Shorts.
Man of sorts.
7 words.
Sarah, Taylor, Joey, Spencer. I love you.
Oh, that's only 6, but I like that.
But those are the kindest ones we've ever heard.
I got us all.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Oh, did you include yourself?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I gotta
didn't
love
count that.
myself.
7. Okay. You got to love yourself before you can love others.
Exactly.
Including ex-girlfriends.
Nope.
So today we are joined by Sarah Winters, and I can't see Taylor because she's through about 3 different cameras, but Taylor Prutch. I can kind of see her now.
Sure.
So you two are both in our marketing department, and you've been there for quite some time. But neither of you started there, so I want to. It's fun for people to see like a pathway through the company, like they can start at one position and end up at another. Like I started as a driver, and if you screw up enough, they'll make you president someday. But I think it's fun for people to figure. You know what? I think I'm skilled at something. I'd love to see if Mountainland could capitalize on that skill. So. And we were just talking about how you guys have a sense of humor that you're hoping comes through on the camera and the microphones. And I was going to tell you that one thing that I love, I was told this by a rep a few years ago, when I was I wasn't trashing on somebody, but I just said, man, that guy is a weird dude. It's a mutual friend or a mutual acquaintance the both of us had. And he said, you know what? You're right, but he's just a little different than my different. Obviously, he's from the South, right? But that is a beautiful thing. He's a different than my different, because all of us are different, right?
Amen.
And then you find your people, like you two have found each other, and you're not different from each other. So it's like, oh, okay, I can hang.
No, I think we're too similar that sometimes people are like,
Yeah.
get them away from each other.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this.
There's a lot of chitty chat.
Chatty and like,
A lot of energy.
yeah, I would say.
Like a secret language kind of thing.
There's nothing wrong with
Spencer's over there nodding, yeah.
It's like when sisters
true.
come up with their own language. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my sisters did that. I grew up with 4 sisters, and they had their own language, and they excluded me from it a lot of times, which meant they were talking bad about me or about me. Not necessarily bad, but
Maybe they just had sister secrets.
they still do, I'm sure.
Good.
Which is good.
You
And I
need
don't
to
want to
know.
be part of that.
None of that.
So, Sarah, why don't you tell the audience how you came to be at Mountainland? And
Gosh.
apparently this is a very funny story.
Well, it's only funny because Brian Haskell is like, no, we don't do that.
Okay.
So back in like 2017, I was looking for a new job, hated my job, and
Where were you before?
I was at a call center that was like helping people fix their credit.
So incoming calls or outgoing?
Outgoing, I think.
Worst.
I like don't remember,
Yeah.
but I basically made it through the training, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm
That's a
not doing
tough one.
this.
That's a tough one.
It's way too personal. I don't need
You were
to
begging
know.
people.
Sure.
I learned so much about credit though, so that was fun.
That is good.
But I saw an ad on KSL,
Yeah.
and it just had Brian Haskell's email for a receptionist position, and I was like,
Nice.
perfect. I'm gonna apply.
2017. Okay. Keep going.
I sent him in my resume, and I got an interview, and Boyd was gone, so he was like, him and Angie interviewed me,
Yeah.
and they were so like buttoned up as they are, like it was so
Official.
Like, it was so official,
Yeah.
and like I was dressed like in slacks and a button-down t-shirt, or not t-shirt, like a
like a
button-down
blouse.
shirt.
Yeah.
I looked so like nicer than I ever looked in like my 22 years or whatever.
Nice.
And then at the end of the interview, then he's like, "How did you hear about us? Like, what led us to this point?" And
Yeah.
I said, "KSL. I sent you an email from that ad." And he said, "We don't advertise on KSL." Like, he just was like, "No, you're wrong." Like, basically,
It's like, well, I got it somehow.
yeah. He's like, "I don't think so. It must have been Indeed." And I was like, "No,
That
it
is
wasn't Indeed."
hilarious.
So
So obviously Tim was ad boosting our Indeed ads, and nobody knew about it.
nobody knew about
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, Tim.
You know, marketing brought you here. Marketing kept you here.
Let's go.
You know what I
Amen.
mean?
Yeah.
Taylor, how did you come to Mountainland?
Very similar.
Let's go with the first time. Let's go with the first time you came
Hey,
here.
Sarah came back twice too.
Oh,
okay?
I know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, 2016, I I was like debating, do I go on a mission? What do I do? And I was like, well, I got to get a job.
Fresh out of high school.
No, I'm fresh out of Snow College.
Oh, SC. What up?
Go
Badger-
Badgers.
Shout out Badgers.
Badger gang.
Are you Badger too?
I went for a minute. I dabbled.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We've crossed paths many times, but like
sounds like
never,
it. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
never till Mountainland brought us together.
Oh, making dreams come true, one relationship at a time.
Absolutely.
So straight out SC.
Yeah, so I'm like, what's my next move? And I get on KSL. And there's an ad for actually like an office assistant. And I was like, sure.
Those KSL ads don't exist.
They didn't. That's what I was told
so
too.
funny.
So
Oh, really?
I pull up and I am meeting with a couple people, and one of them is Brian Haskell, and he was like, how'd you hear about us? I'm like, KSL. And he was like, couldn't have been. No way. No. I'm like,
How do you think I found you?
I'm
dude?
like, I feel like I'm being baited. Am I supposed to say something?
Yeah.
Good things we're in
different?
cahoots now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, I show up in a pencil skirt, a blouse, stilettos. I'm ready to go.
Right on.
I walk all the way up. It's in Tim White's current office, and I'm walking up those steep stairs.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't fall down them that time.
That's a shocker.
I've
Yeah.
damn
That's
near
a shocker.
did, and I almost fell into Matt Scott's glass window.
That'll do it.
You wouldn't
Oh
like
gosh.
that.
Anyways, and so I get a call back, and they're like, actually, we're going a separate way, and I was like, oh, shoot. Okay, thanks. And then I get a call like the next day, and he was like, I think I have a job for you though. And so the office assistant was hired by one of the receptionists. And so
Okay.
they offered me the receptionist job, and I had to come back in. And I interviewed with Boyd at the time, and Boyd was just like, you look like a perfect candidate. Let's hire you.
No
He's
other
like,
requirements.
It looks like you got a pulse.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You'll do us fine. So
You'll do great.
yeah, I worked for a little bit, served an LDS mission, came back. And yeah, Brian Haskell just was willing to take me all battered and bruised.
That's awesome.
So
Even if you did respond to a like bootleg KSL ad.
yeah, pretty
That's good. That's good.
Pretty
we
much.
don't have those.
The next
Yeah.
time I was on my knees begging though.
Yeah.
I was like, please.
Please
And he
take
was
me
like,
back.
I'm ready. And then that was when me and Sarah got to work together at the front
Yeah, that was-
desk.
Okay.
So that was the first time that we met.
Now, did you serve in Indiana?
I did 11 straight months.
And what's your connection to? You got a connection to Indiana, right?
My parents live in Iowa.
Okay,
so,
Iowa,
you know,
I'm sorry.
the Midwest.
Ish.
It's the
But
same
yeah.
area,
All those
yeah.
I states.
but we
are next to
we
each
know the
other.
Midwest pretty well.
Yeah. Okay.
Those wide open nothings. Yeah.
So then you both worked reception. Taylor, you went to marketing. How long after you came back the second time?
I think it was about like 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you went a year after that or so?
It was in 2022. I've only been in marketing for, well,
A little
almost
bit.
3 years
Almost
now.
3 years now.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, honestly, marketing's a cool spot. And a lot of people, not covet, but they really like, they think that marketing is a cool spot to end up, which it is. That's not untrue. There's a lot that goes into marketing though, right?
There is a lot.
And there's how many people on your marketing team now?
8?
7 or 8?
7, 8, yeah.
And it started with Timmy, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, it's a tight knit group with all you, 3, 4 ladies, 4.5 ladies, because you kind of get Tracy in there every once in a while,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No, dude, you're fully dude.
Maybe a half.
No, you're fully dude.
Spencer's willing to accept. He could be a
He doesn't
He just
care.
wants to be included.
Yeah, he just wants to be part of the party.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
will say the girls have more fun. So
We go everywhere together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Spencer's ousted in his own car.
Yeah,
places.
whether you like it or not, they're going to go everywhere together.
It's true. They don't invite me
Yeah, it's okay.
because I'm a half.
You don't want those invites anyways. So, what are your responsibilities today, Sarah?
I feel like the thing that takes up most of my time
Yeah.
is distributing our sponsorship tickets that we do with the Peak Reward program.
Yeah.
Distributing like our bi-monthly promo prizes, adding those extra points, making those gift certificates, and then again the tickets is
Yeah.
another big piece of it. Helping with events, do a lot of that coordination with Taylor and the
Yeah.
rest of the team.
And then Taylor, what takes up the bulk of your time?
The majority of my time is definitely taken up by our swag
Yeah.
and like everything we basically print a design and logo on.
Yeah.
And then
Wearables and promotional items. Yep.
as long as it's for customers,
Yeah.
we do all the customer swag and everything like that.
Right.
And then a lot of the peak rewards. I book a lot of peak rewards for people, and then I dabble in the events still, as long as we're able to all attend it and be there.
Right.
A lot of events too.
So, just for clarification, when you guys say events, you're talking like golf tournaments, customer appreciation days. What other type of events are you guys tasked to go to?
We do like barbecues as a peak reward option for our customers, and so
So
every
you'll
now-
go out on job sites.
Yeah, so we'll go out and do that with Eric every once in a while.
We do a lot of like any kind of sponsored events too. So like Mountainlands a big sponsor of a lot of charities and companies and
Yeah.
things in the community.
Yeah.
And so we end up going to a lot of things that we sponsor and that we participate in,
Yeah.
just to put a face to a name.
Well, just like most departments and most positions at the company, you don't just wear one hat, right? You guys kind of are a team, so you help wherever you can, which I think is also something that's not unique to Mountainland, but it is part of who we are. It's like if I'm at an event, I'm emptying garbages just as much as I'm, associating with customers, right? Because it's something that needs to be done, so you just get it done.
Which, funny story, when I, 5-6 years ago in marketing, when we did a golf tournament,
Yeah.
I had one of the golf pros tell me, you and a few other people were there, like hands in, like just getting dirty with it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I have never seen the like executive team of any company participate like you guys do. And I was like, they'll love to hear that. Like, that's awesome. And it's true. Like, I feel like, whenever there's something that needs to be done, it gets done around here,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
And it's like, we're not above anything.
Yeah.
We're not above or below anything. We'll do whatever it takes to get it done, especially when it comes to customers, which is another thing that I want to talk to you guys about. I'm on this little crusade for a customer at the end of the process and creating memories. And your team, you are on like the front lines of taking care of the customers a lot, right? What type of, that's good feedback from somebody that's, seeing our events, but what other type of feedback do you get from customers? Because we market completely differently than anybody else does, right? What do you hear from customers about, an event that we do? Like what's the typical feedback you get?
I feel like we always get like high praise, like appreciation, like thank you so much for putting this on for us and like coming out and doing this for us. Like, this is so awesome that you guys like show up and do this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that a lot of people do a customer appreciation in the ways that we, like you go to RC Willie and they're cooking like hot dogs out of a Coke trailer,
Yeah.
which is awesome. But like, I think people look at us and go, wow, this is really cool. Like they came here and catered, even like if we grill, but
Yeah.
like we're like grilling to their needs.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
next level.
Yeah. Like at one point we were frying eggs for hamburgers that people were like obsessed with,
Turn into
just
short
to like,
order cooks.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just to like add that extra step. We'll do a breakfast every once in a while at different places. We do those. Now this was well before our time, but we do those scone days.
Yeah.
And like, that's like very specific to certain needs of like what people are used to and like and traditional. Like
Yeah.
what can we do that like makes a customer feel like they're at home when they're here?
Yes. Yeah. I love that. And that's ultimately that would be my goal, is that everybody feels that they're home, not just a customer, but our employees as well, that they feel like when they see the mountains drive down the road, they're like, oh, that just feels right. That reminds me of a good memory that I can associate with Mountainland Supply or with a cool event, or, when they're wearing our shirts or our hats, they're like, I wear it with pride because I love this company. It feels like home to me. I think that's something that's not necessarily lost, but I think it's important for our people to remember that everything that we're doing has a purpose at the end of it. It's not just, throw a bunch of hats at it and say, okay, we're done. We'll go to the next step and make a hat for them, which is something that not everybody does. You do the hat booth, they get to personalize it, and now it's something that they came up with and created, and then that creates that memory and that tie to Mountainland. And I think, like you were saying with the eggs on the cheeseburgers or whatever, it's whatever we can do to make them feel a little bit more comfortable with us. That's what we do. And because you guys in your department have been so creative over the years, it's created an expectation that basically anything can happen. And then you guys continue to provide that, which is really hard to continually step up your game. That's hard.
I feel like maybe more recently than ever, and maybe it's just a culmination of a lot of that, but I feel like we have this whole list of things that we offer, and at the end of the day, there's always a special circumstance. There's always an outside request or like something new that somebody asked for, and it's like, oh yeah, why can't we do that?
Yeah.
We can accommodate that. And it's just takes a little bit of like brainstorming and to coordinating to get it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's awesome that people can make those requests and they somehow end up working. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're on one of our rewards trips or at a customer appreciation day or at a job site. It's like, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give us some time. We'll figure it out. Well, another thing that I was thinking of, and you guys, you may not know this off the top of your hat, but I'll ask it anyways. Like, what's the next event that's coming up? So as people are listening to this, what's the next Customer Appreciation Day that's coming up?
We're going up to Burley for Customer Appreciation Day the second week of July. And then the next day, Idaho Falls for a golf tournament.
Yes.
And then the week after that, we have a Nampa Customer Appreciation Day and a Nampa golf tournament. Should be so much fun, so much time in Idaho.
Yeah,
then-
July's full of Idaho.
Yeah.
And then when is West Jordan the one that's at the Bees Stadium?
August 12th.
August 12th. Okay, so and that's a big one, right? That one's bring a bunch of customers out there, vendors at the new ballpark.
Yeah, that'll be really fun because it'll be the new ballpark and like, kind of able to hit the whole northern region to be able to have everyone come out to that.
Yeah, that one's going to be cool. And that new ballpark is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's stunning.
Unreal. And our suite there is really cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's such a sick experience to be like right there.
When people bring their kids to it and they're like up against the net, nothing separating them between them and the batter than a net. Just seeing those kids' faces light up, that is so cool.
Oh, it's so fun when they're all in jerseys too, and like it's so awesome.
Yeah. It's fun seeing. And I love seeing the younger generation get that touch with Mountainland too. It's like when they see that on the outfield walls, they're like, oh, yeah, I remember Mountainland. I got to go and hang out in their suite with them or whatever. Or my dad buys from them, or my grandpa or my grandma works there, whatever. You know what I mean? So it's...
Experiences are big for us to try to create like an experience, like, like a core memory.
Yeah.
Like what's going to remind you to Mountainland every time like you do it again or you think about it or whatever.
Well, and that's what we're in the memories business. That's it, right? At the end of the day, we're trying to make sure that people have a memory that is meaningful and worthwhile to them. So you guys are killing it. You guys do a great job.
Thank you. It's
Is
a lot
there-
of work.
It is a lot of work, and it's not always appreciated. So I just want you guys to know I appreciate you. You guys do awesome work.
That's
Thank
so
you.
kind. I feel like everyone is so kind to us and appreciative. I feel like we get our flowers.
That's
Yeah,
good.
it's
Get
been,
your flowers.
it's really like so awesome when you do go to like a new branch that you haven't been to in a while, or like, all of a sudden there's like new people there and you only know like 4 people
Yeah.
from like 7 years ago that you saw, and like they just jump in and help.
Yeah.
And people are like coming up to you from like a driver to the warehouse, anyone, and they're just going, "What can I help you with?" And it's
Yeah.
like, "Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Here's XYZ because we've got 100 things to do."
Yeah,
So
I love that everybody just jumps in.
yeah,
And it's not, they don't feel like it's an expectation, but they just realize that's what we do.
yeah.
We're here to help.
Yeah, it's a really cool experience to get to be for sure in this department and get to see like all of the people that make up this company.
Yeah, I totally agree. 1,074 of us right now.
Wow.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's a
It
lot.
keeps growing.
Yeah, it's awesome. A lot of families that get to participate in, their life because, we're here and we provide
Yeah.
that for them. So it's awesome.
And that's been really cool about marketing too, is like, when I started like 6 years ago, it was like I've personally opened like 10 branches.
Yeah.
And like, getting to see all those new people, new faces, and like the new communities that we open up into is like a really cool experience to get to be a part of that.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to throw in? Any shameless plugs? Anything like that? No?
No.
That's it?
We're having a good time.
You're just happy.
We're just happy to be here.
You were so excited to come on and do this. I'm so grateful you were able to do it.
We couldn't wait. We were pretty jazzed.
Yeah, that we got to check that off for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
So
and to do it
exciting.
together.
Oh,
Yeah, you're welcome for that. Actually, thanks Shorts for that because he coordinated that.
Yeah, I did it for you guys.
Thank
But
you.
if
I do
you, if
appreciate
you
it.
need like a solo one, we can get you back on.
Yeah, if you have a burning desire to come
Yeah.
on solo, you're like, I really need to do this for myself.
That's what that's what he said. He's like, if either of you really are like looking for that spotlight, I was like,
Not for real.
I think I'm
though.
I
good.
really think so.
You never know. Maybe that's a. Maybe
I don't know
that's
if anyone wants to hear the stuff I could talk about for an hour.
Yeah.
So
Actually, we could keep going if you want to just keep rolling, Spencer.
Oh,
We
I'm
could
sure
get
you
like
could.
6 episodes.
Yeah, we can cut this thing up.
yeah, cash them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you both for coming on. Thanks
Thanks
for
for
all you
having
do.
us.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody kind of has a name for a face now, and they can, when they see you out there, they can know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, if you see us out in public, make sure you say hi.
Or run.
Sometimes people do this.
Or get out of the way.
Yeah, run the other way.
Pick your poison.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys coming on. Thanks, Shorts, for setting it up.
Yep.
And thank you, everybody out there. Enjoy the ride. We'll see you down the road.